What's going on, everyone, and welcome back to another edition of Action Sunday. Now, at the time of this recording, it is November 12th. So, and the reason why I'm pointing that out now is because would you believe that is now my 3rd year anniversary since I've done this segment on my channel. So, I just remember doing it. Remember 3 years ago on this exact date that I just said, you know what? I want to do something different. I want to review action movies. I want to review all this kind of stuff. And, of course, sure enough, look where it's gotten me now. Like 3 years later, almost 200 episodes later, how appropriate. It's like, wow, I've done it. So, of course, I want to say thank you to all those that have tuned in and watched. And, just hear my 2 cents about, almost every action movie that I could think of or find and discover under the sun. I mean, there's so many movies out there, but I just wanted to review the ones that I felt like could be appropriate for this channel. Even some that you guys have never seen. And of course, one episode, the Renegades episode, a lot of fans really love that. So to everyone, thank you. And now I'm going to keep doing this for your entertainment pleasure. Now, since my 3rd year anniversary, so normally I would review a movie adaptation of a popular video game. So I thought in the past, I did review the Mortal Kombat movies, but to my knowledge, I don't think I did. So finally, might as well talk about them now. It's perfect because the new Mortal Kombat game is out. Fans are it's a cool thing. So why the hell not? Let's talk Mortal Kombat today. So now, what can I say about these 2 movies? Both movies. I'm going to talk about both of them. So I'm going to say this right now. I remember hearing about this come out years ago, as a kid, and I'm like, okay, cool. But wait, it's based off a video game, possibly one of the more controversial and violent video games in history. So, tells you something. So yeah, I think every fan was excited for this. But then it came out, and it was announced, oh, it's PG-13. Wait, what? The fuck? What? So they essentially just dumbed it down. I think that's what turned some fans away, is because of that. Of course, also, I think the storyline, turned people away because think about this. I think they were trying way too hard to make it almost exact copy of the game. Sure, things can contradict the screen. Sure, some things don't. And it's essentially just elements of the Mortal Kombat game mixed in with elements of Enter the Dragon, which practically every freaking fighting game has that same formula that you've probably seen from Enter the Dragon. Billionaire villain invites a bunch of people to his private island or where it is for a tournament. So it happens. It's not just Mortal Kombat. It's Tekken. It's a Street Fighter. It's King of Fighters. It goes on and on. If you ever think about every fighting game franchise out there. Okay, think about that for a sec. But anyway, to the movie. So what can I say? After a while, you get to, especially for me, you pick up on things, and after a while you realize, man, these were not as good as they thought. As much as people think that, okay, they're fine, they're good, but I don't know. It's it's almost 15 years later since the last one came out, and of course I understand there's a reboot coming, so who knows? But what can I say? Like I said, there's some things that work. I will say the cast, I think, does a good job. They fit into these roles almost perfectly. It was fit for them. Where it's Liu Kang or Johnny Cage or Sonya Blade or hell, even Shang Tsung. And in my opinion, Cary Tagawa did a phenomenal job playing Shang Tsung. And this tells you a testament. It was so good that Midway asked him to reprise the role for the video game. That's telling you a lot. Wow. But I will submit, there is some star power in this cast. You got him, you got Robin Shou, you got Lyndon Ashby, you got Bridget Wilson, Sampras, whatever her name is now, and Christopher Lambert. Yes, the freaking Highlander is in the first movie. But of course, that was my one problem with the first movie. Is wait a minute, hold on. The Thunder God is not fighting at all. What the hell? Did they just not want to make this character fight at all, or just be more of a comic relief? What the hell were they thinking? I expected more. I was expecting more from this role, especially from this character. Instead, I feel like they kind of character assassinated him, in my opinion. But But say what you will about Christopher Lambert. People say he's one of the most genuinely nice guys. And here's a bit of trivia. He actually paid for the after party out of his own money for everybody, and everybody thanked him for that. That's a testament to an actor. All right. So yeah, I think that's most of the things I want to talk about for that part. But when it comes to some visuals, yes, they are clearly outdated by today's standards. Sure, it's the 90s. Obviously, they didn't look too good or whatnot. It was the 90s. I complained about this when I talked about Blade, but yeah, to me, I felt like this movie and these show that some of these visuals really don't age well. And it's not good. It doesn't look good. I feel like if you just master it, kind of give like I wouldn't say a George Lucas kind of treatment, but you get my point. Like jazz up a bit, make it look more fleshed out and presentable. I think it would look better by today's standards. So yeah. So that's just my great bet. But I will say this, Goro, oh my god, he looked so bad, but it's good. I don't know. I always had mixed feelings when it came to Goro, but get this, he was voiced by I might get this wrong, by Frank Welker. I might be wrong, but but I think it came out good. It looked pretty dang good. Much else I can say about the first movie, but the sequel is where it really kicks the bucket. It just went downhill in a heartbeat. And not to mention a whole shit ton of recastings, especially when it came to Johnny Cage. And they killed him off within 3 minutes of the movie. Brian Thompson as Shao Kahn, I think, I don't know. I felt like his was under-delivered or something like that. I was expecting someone more bigger, much more intimidating. Instead, we get this scrawny guy. Sure, he's built like granite, but like a brick shithouse. But it just doesn't fail to live up to the hype. And oh, good Lord, all these other characters that I remember from the sequels, they were here. You got Motaro, you got Shiva, you got freaking Cybot, Smoke, and I'm like, what the hell did they do? What were they thinking? They were there was no flow, no breathing room. All you said was, okay, oh, remember these guys from the game? It's here they are, now we fight them. Oh, now they're dead. What the fuck? I think they were really trying to do way too much. The storyline just went way off the rails. And then, of course, to top it all off, we obviously another recasting was recasting, James Remar to play Raiden instead of Christopher Lambert. So I felt like his role kind of worked, but I'm like, I don't know, things just really didn't click, and once again the visuals were really tacky and outdated, and but thank God by the final actor, thank God it's over. The world is saved, another world is saved. It's good Lord, there was a whole the sequel was just a big mess. The only silver lining in this was some of the acting and the set design and I don't know about, and of course, some I would say not a whole lot of fan service, but I would say like a poor delivery on some fan service. Like you could see this, you could see that. You're oh, you're happy to see this character, but then you're upset that they're dead a minute later. But yeah, it's all over the place, and I think that's what the problem was with the sequel. And I think it's about damn time that if Hollywood's gonna make another Mortal Kombat movie, make it better, or make the storyline follow one of these games, okay? Because I just can't believe just how poorly done Annihilation was just delivered to us. All right, I think that would wipe the taste out of my mouth. But overall, just looking back to these movies, it is what it is. If you want to give them a watch, they're available somewhere. I have it on a double disc DVD somewhere in my cabinet over here. And so yeah. So if I had to give these movies a score, all right. I'm going to be perfectly honest. The first movie, I'm going to give it maybe a 6.5 out of 10. That's the best I'm going to do. I was contemplating giving it a 7, but I think I'm being way too generous. But I think 6.5 I think is fair because while following elements of the story of the games like elements of that, I think it was good. But there were some things I think could have been better. I think some over top delivery could have been toned down. That was it. As for the sequel, I give it a 3 because it was really not good, and it was just a letdown on all fronts. All right? So, yeah, that's pretty much all I can think of. I want to hear your thoughts. If you guys want to watch it, that does for this week. Thumbs up the video, subscribe to my channel, stay tuned for some more awesome and exciting videos.